The question is, in case of Japan, the cost of capital is negative. It means what? It means in Japan, if you put money in a bank, bank will not give you interest. Rather, they will charge you something for keeping your money. And why will they do it? And that is because Japan, the cost of capital is negative. And please understand why the cost of capital is negative. And the reason behind the cost of capital being negative is Japan is a highly developed country. It's a highly developed country where there are no challenges of inflation. And जितना उनका डेवलपमेंट हो सकता था virtually all the development has already been done, and therefore they do not have much opportunities internally for the purpose of deploying their funds. So since they do not have internal opportunities for deploying their funds, so they do not have inflation, and since they do not have any inflation, and that is why they do not have any interest, and since they do not have any interest, and that is why they have a negative rate of negative cost of capital. And that is the reason, friends, please remember how the Japanese banks or Japanese private equity fund will be making investment all over the globe. And why are they doing it? They are doing it primarily because they do not have opportunity of earning returns on the capital, on the funds that they have in Japan. So they have two choices. Number one, they sit on those funds in Japan and earn nothing. And remember, any businessman, that is the least that any businessman would like to do, and that is not to earn anything on their return. And that is why they will go outside, make investment outside, coming to a place like India, or going to Brazil, or going to America, or going to China, or going to many of the other geographies, invest that money and earn some return on that. Interestingly, if you would remember, few years back, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the then head of Japan, who unfortunately passed away, they entered into a contract. And you know what that contract was? That contract was for Japan to supply metros here in India, and that project was totally funded by the Japan only. And remember, what was the rate of interest? Just 1%. And not only the rate of interest was 1%, but this was a long-term debt. That means India is going to repay that debt after a very, very long time. So I'm sure a question should come to your mind as to why a country like Japan should do that. कि हम ही माल सप्लाई कर रहे हैं, हम ही पैसा दे रहे हैं, तो और उस पर भी हमारा रिटर्न 1% है. Why is that? And that is because ultimately, remember, when you have no growth, you have to be happy with some growth. So by making this project in India, they are able to generate some revenues for themselves, and that too for a longer period. And that, Baman sir, is the long answer to your short question. I hope it answers your doubt.
हाँ सर सर अभी अभी जो चारों बाजू में इन्फ्लेशन चल रहा है,
हाँ.
जापान में कोई इन्फ्लेशन हुआ है?
एक्चुअली मैंने जापान की ज़्यादा स्टडी रिसेंटली नहीं करी है, पर एज आई अंडरस्टैंड, बिकॉज वी हियर अबाउट अमेरिका, we hear about Europe, we hear about China, but I haven't heard anything of this sort as far as Japan is concerned. So therefore, it would appear to me that whatever is happening currently geopolitically, it looks like Japan is not much impacted because of all these factors.